So, Präludium von Blanqueur und Nurqueur. Okay, die französische Aussprache, schwierige Aussprache. Hallo, alles in Ordnung?
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
Seid ihr diese besonderen Wasserwesen aus Fontaine?
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And no, I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now, it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lynnie, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason.
Naja, du sprichst die ganze Zeit für mich, Paimon.
So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories, and that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now.
Jetzt wird's interessant. Was geht denn vor sich?
Where to begin?
Wir haben Zeit.
Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler.
Hallo? Lynette?
And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Aha. Also, den Männern gibt man die Hand und den Frauen fasst man am... Oder am Rücken.
Oh, alright then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please follow me.
Na, das ist jetzt auch sehr interessant. Wir gehen also schon auf Richtung Opernhaus hinzu. Aber es dürfte jetzt eigentlich noch ein paar Parts vielleicht dauern, bis wir, sag, in der Hauptstadt von Fontaine angekommen sind. Außerdem hätte ich jetzt, sagt, zu gerne, sag, auch noch den Clockwork Robot, der links und rechts stand, mal kurz mal unter die Lupe genommen.
You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
Moment, sind wir jetzt, sag, schon ins Visier der Polizei gekommen? Wie das denn jetzt? Ah, jetzt bin ich mal gespannt, wie die Aussprache ist von Chlorinde. Großer Auftritt.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu.
Ich glaube, jetzt weiß ich auf alle Fälle, woher Fischl ihre Aussprache hat, oder besser gesagt ihr Gehabe. Das hat sicherlich alles einen Ursprung aus Fontaine. Generell, Lunay oder Lunny, naja, ist ja sowieso ein Magier der Phantasmagoria. Also die Geschichte wird auf alle Fälle aus Fontaine gestammt haben? Sein? Stammte? Ja, die Geschichte stammte sicherlich aus Fontaine.
As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and his companion, who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
Offensichtlich. Keine hier scheint ein Glas zu halten. Das fällt mir jetzt also auf. Das ist das Wichtigste.
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally.
Also das ist auf jeden Fall eine Lüge. Das Durcheinander haben niemals wir verursacht. Also beim ersten Mal war es, sagt der Orden des Abgrunds eigentlich gewesen mit der Wahlen. Und mit dem Blutedelstein. Dann, was mit Venti geschehen ist mit La Signora von... Das war, eigentlich auch nicht unser Durcheinander. Wir haben, auch nicht Rex Lapis ermordet. Das war, auch nicht der Fall gewesen. Und die Sache, mit Inazuma... Ja, das Durcheinander war, vorher auch schon zustande gekommen. Und, dass wir dann, ein Kommandant der Rebellenarmee wurden. Kommandant von Schwertfisch 2. Also, ja, das haben wir uns, verdient gehabt. Und was, die andere Sache angeht, ja, da hatten, die Gelehrten aus Sumeru und dann, sowieso auch der Doktor ihre Finger im Spiel gehabt. Wir haben jedes Mal bloß das Durcheinander, wieder zueinander gebracht. Aber meine andere Frage, was ist eigentlich mit deinem linken Auge? Das sieht mir jetzt irgendwie ein bisschen zu künstlich aus. Ihr rechtes Auge sieht, normal aus, so wie es eigentlich auch zu einem Menschen passt, aber das linke, das sieht, mir wirklich jetzt ein bisschen zu künstlich aus.
Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured. I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner.
Also jetzt, glaube ich, habe ich schon mal eine klare Vermutung, wie wir, uns unbeliebt machen. Beim Hydro-Archon oder auch generell beim obersten Richter von Fontaine. Sie lädt uns jetzt, soweit ich das jetzt schon mal hier verstehen kann, zu einer Vorführung ein. Beziehungsweise zu einer Gerichtsverhandlung. Und bei dieser Gerichtsverhandlung steht sicherlich der Graf Tartaglia Childe auf der Bühne. Und ja, irgendetwas wird dabei sicherlich geschehen, weshalb wir uns auf die Seite des Grafen schlagen werden. Und am Ende wird Chlorinde mit einer Armee von Clockwork Robots hinter uns her sein. Weil das dann sicherlich irgendwie nicht Teil einer vernünftigen Gerichtsverhandlung ist. Und unser Gerechtigkeitssinn schlägt dann Alarm, dass wir eingreifen sollen.
I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip.
Oh.
Now, you may rejoice in this.
Und ich muss wirklich sagen, nun, den Archon zu finden war diesmal echt einfach.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it? A little over the top? Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities. You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Also gut. Er kann aber trotzdem immer noch ein Spion der Fatui sein. Das kann immer noch der Fall sein. Aber dass er auf jeden Fall ein Spion des Hydro-Archons war? Ja, damit habe ich ehrlich gesagt nicht gerechnet. Und mit hoher Wahrscheinlichkeit hat sie überall in Teyvat ihre Spione sicherlich. Um so an Informationen zu kommen.
Whoa, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Und betont ihren Status als Archon sehr gern.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see him. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Tja, Duelle mit Archonten kenne ich ja schon.
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
Jetzt spiel dich mal nicht so auf. Wir haben schon gegen Raiden Shogun gekämpft, also... Wie schon gesagt, ist nicht das erste Mal, wo wir gegen einen Archon kämpfen.
What are you trying to do, Traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorinde. I admire his bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. He is obviously a true warrior.
Also gut, die Aussprache ist also Clorinde. Und nicht Chlorinde.
Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Huh. Yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Arrhenius, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. They're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
You see. Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
All right! Now that'll be worth seeing!
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. With such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Wir sind gerade erst hier angekommen.
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it?
Offensichtlich?
According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Farina. No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
Dieses Gesetz ist sicherlich aus Langeweile entstanden.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
Ahem.
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun, but if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object, but how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Ta-da!
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did you do that?
Naja, in dem Moment, als er ja geschnipst hat. Ach, nee, er hat das ja wohl schon vorausgesehen.
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the Traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh? I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold water.
just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The God of Justice will not bring charges against an innocent person. But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linney and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
Also, das war mal ein Auftritt.
And just like that, she's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. We never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Du wusstest schon, dass es so ablaufen würde?
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Furina is?
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Ist sie wirklich vernünftig?
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
Das wäre mir ein großes Vergnügen.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first.
Zögere nicht, mir Bescheid zu geben, wenn du Hilfe brauchst.
You really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Sieht aus wie eine ganz normale Einkaufstüte.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that. You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails. I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What is that supposed to mean?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Das Meer überflutet nach und nach diese Erinnerung.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than a bit of rain.
Lässt sich diese Katastrophe wirklich nicht abwenden?
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.
Ach, das wird doch nicht so schwierig sein. Wie Wasser, das im Wasser verschwindet. Also gut, verteilen wir jetzt erstmal ein paar Taschen. Und schauen uns erstmal hier die Ankündigungstafel ein bisschen an. Die besondere Ankündigungstafel wurde vom Ruhr-Maritim-Hafen eingeführt, um Bekanntgaben zu wichtigen Angelegenheiten im Ruhr-Maritim-Hafen zu machen. Wer Fragen hat, kann hier ebenfalls eine Nachricht hinterlassen. Okay, ein bisschen Werbung von Linnaeus Zaubershow. Dann ein goldenes Schwert. Irgendwas anderes, mechanisches, denke ich. Und keine Ahnung, was das andere sein sollte. Weiterlesen. Bitte beachten, für jedes Duell in Fontaine ist ein Antrag bei den zuständigen Behörden erforderlich. Private Duelle und Antrag und Genehmigung sind strengst untersagt. Jeglicher Verstoß wird streng geahndet. Alle Verluste und Schäden, die aus unerlaubten privaten Duellen resultieren, liegen in der Verantwortung der Beteiligten. Verhaftungen durch die Maison Gardiennage gelten nicht als Duelle oder Duellverhalten. Wer seine Ehre wahren möchte, kann während der Verhandlung ein Duell beantragen. Von Widerstand als letzten Ausweg wird jedoch abgeraten, wenn man bedeutungslose Verluste vermeiden will. Freundlicher Rat von der Maison Gardiennage. Der Ruhr-Maritim-Hafen liegt in der Nähe der Wüste, wo zahlreiche Gesetzlose aktiv sind, die sich Goldbrigade nennen. Durchreisende sollten wachsam bleiben. Wenn du Verdächtige bemerkst, melde es bitte rechtzeitig der Maison. Gesucht, Name unbekannt, Suchziel, alle Informationen zu dieser Person. Aha. Männlich und aus Fontaine. Eines seiner Beine ist eine Prothese. Bekannter Tarnname, Herr Sägebein. Hat einst illegale Auftritte in der Station Ruhr-Maritim durchgeführt und dadurch Störung der öffentlichen Ordnung verursacht. Für Hinweise zu dieser Person wird eine Belohnung ausgesetzt. Wer Informationen hat, wendet sich bitte an die Garde. Bitte beachten, für das Duell in Fontaine ist ein Antrag. Warte, haben wir doch schon gelesen.
So you're the blonde traveler that everyone's been talking about. My apologies for not recognizing you earlier. Oh, a magic pocket? Seems you really thought of everything. I guess it's better to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Thanks. Please, also thank the magician on my behalf when you get the chance.
Tja, sehr viel überreden mussten wir jetzt nicht. Und jetzt können wir uns endlich mal das Teil hier mal ansehen.
What's this? So you also believe in the prophecy. Keep it. I won't have any use for it.
What? You mean you don't believe in the prophecy?
No, I believe in the prophecy. But I also believe in another story. The story says that people once lived in the ocean. They were one with the ocean and couldn't live apart from it. But as time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels, encapsulating the sea within their bodies. Thus could people set foot on land. So, if you ask me, when the water rises and takes us all, it'll be like we're going home.
Oh, we hadn't heard that one before. But people can't live underwater. They'll die. You should probably still take it.
All right, I'll take it. I guess I just feel that being dissolved into the water doesn't necessarily mean death.
Na gut, so erfahren wir jetzt auch ein bisschen mehr über diese sogenannte Prophezeiung. Also gut, wo bitteschön war... Ah, da drüben auf dem Schiff? Captain? Darf ich bitte an Bord Ihr Schiff betreten, an Bord gehen? Und Ihnen eine Tasche anbieten?
Huh? I don't want that thing. Way I see it, if the prophecy's true, it's still gonna be a long time before the water can cover everything. Life is all about living in the moment. What use is there in worrying about the future all the time? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
You should still take it. You never know when it'll come in handy.
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that if I start moving, that means I've already given up on the life I have now. I'd really rather not.
So, damit haben wir jetzt alle Zaubertaschen verteilt. Aber wo ist jetzt hier die Melusine abgeblieben?